The media doesn't just inform your thoughts, it shapes your mental landscape in ways you rarely notice. Now, it operates on a subconscious level, it taps into your emotions and influences the very core of how you perceive the world. Often, you are unaware of this influence simply because you don't know what you don't know. Now, take the recent report of xenophobic attack in South Africa, for example. When you see the headlines and viral videos circulating on social media and major news outlets, they naturally cause a stir. They create immediate tension and anxiety. While the actual scale of the violence might be localized, the way it is presented creates a broad sense of fear. Now, I recently reached out to a friend of mine living in South Africa just to check up on him because of the news we've been hearing about the attacks. But to my surprise, he told me he hasn't experienced anything related to xenophobia personally. He was actually confused by the influx of calls from people outside of the country checking up on him. As far as he's concerned, his daily life was perfectly safe. However, for someone outside the country looking in, the perception of danger becomes their reality. Even if it is safe on the ground, the perception clouds their judgment and create a barrier to entry or connection. Now, this brings us to a critical point: perception and reality. Perception reaches the core of human experience. Even if a conflict isn't widespread, the message being broadcast is that people are being deprived of their right to live safely. Now, this triggers a defensive response in anyone. Whether you like it or not, these narratives create a negative connotation that usually lingers. This idea is formed and it stays in your mind because most people don't have the full context of what is happening in every corner of the country. And this is where leadership becomes vital. A leader's role isn't just to manage the facts of a situation, but also to manage the perception it carries. And usually there's often talk about agendas aimed at turning Africans against one another. While this is a heavy claim, it is true that in any society, there are people with a wide range of ideologies, both the very peaceful and the extremist. Now, those ideologies only manifest in large scale when they are aided by the dominant figures who are the leaders, the media outlets, and the influencers. In a peaceful society, it's not that everyone is naturally peaceful, it's that the dominant narrative and leadership have subdued those with ill intent. Now, in a fractured society, if a dominant figure rises with ill intent, you'll be surprised by how quickly a sane society can be swayed into supporting them. For any city, state, or region, paying attention to perception is a leadership requirement. It matters because it dictates how the rest of the world interacts with you, and it is always good to listen to news with some discretion because you don't know how far your influence travels sometimes. And this brings me to America. In as much as there are manufacturing powerhouses like China, and it feels like America is no longer a world powerhouse, America still has a strong influence in media, entertainment, movies, music. And this eventually shapes culture, and culture has influence on narratives. Whether we like it or not, perception matters. How we view things matters. How the news presents it matters. And that is our reality. Thank you so much. Kindly like the video and share your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.